Yes, our May read on producer price headline expected up 0.6 is up 0.5. High water mark there is March when it was up 1.6. If we strip out food and energy, well, it is up. Oh, I'm sorry. That was up 0.8 on headline, up 0.8 on headline, 1.6 high water mark, up 0.5 ex food and energy. High water mark there is up 1.2. If we look at ex food, energy, and trade, it stays at up 0.5. High water mark there. Jan of 21 up 1%. Now let's go to the year over year. Year over year headline 10.8, and that sequentially is following 11%. The high water mark there was March at 11.5. Ex food and energy year over year up 8.3. High water mark there is 9.6. That was from March. And finally, ex food, energy, and trade up 6.8. High water mark there up 7.1, March of 22. So we could see that whether it was sequentially from last month, other than ex food and energy month over month, everything basically has moderated to some extent, and that is a good thing. We see interest rates on 10s at around 3.32%. That's a 10-year high. We see that the dollar index is hovering at a 20-year high. And maybe the most important issue of all, if we look towards Europe and many of the other economies, we continue to see the same notion as, of course, energy inflation seems to be playing havoc with many economies, especially those of Europe that depend on manufacturing. Becky, back to you.
Rick, thank you. Steve Liesman is here. He's got more details on this. Steve, you've been digging through it. What jumps out at you?
That we're not getting any help on the goods sector. Goods inflation, the producer level up 1.4%, services up 0.4%. The whole idea of inflation eventually getting back under control is that you would have this switch from goods inflation moderating over into the service sector, and that is not happening. That's a big story right there. I was just looking up the pipeline there, whether or not there was additional inflation, but I haven't had a chance to look at that. But I like that Rick used the term moderating. I'm a little less sanguine about it. I'm sure he's not all that sanguine either, in the sense that you're doing 10% year over year plus, or almost 11%. We still have a big problem up the pipeline, and that's going to filter down. And then the question obviously becomes how much that can be passed along to consumers, and whether or not we're at some form of a breaking point of consumers rejecting these higher prices and businesses unable to pass them along, and that would hit profits. Becky?